Right. So one more time to say that include with this arrowhead, which looks like an inheritance, is a stronger relationship between the use cases. And it basically says that this part always happens when we invoke cancel reservation, okay? However, maybe just to give you an example, that maybe we can allow the customer and go directly here and remove themselves from the waiting list, right? So they can they know they have some sort of, reservation number, but they know it's not a confirmed reservation. So maybe they want to go and just say, hey, I don't want to do it, so I just want to just change my reservation or completely cancel this reservation. So they can be directly going there and removing themselves from the waiting list, right? So they could bypass cancel reservation screen because they don't have an actual reservation. So just to give you an idea, but at the same time, we say that if someone cancels the reservation, we always want to go and check the waiting list and see if there's anyone waiting in the queue and give them, confirmed reservation for that other person who is waiting. So that's why, so basically this type of relationship is include relationship, and include relationship means it always happens, right? So cancel reservation always calls remove waiting list. At the same time, anytime we say extend is optional, right? So we can essentially add like a little note over here. This means optional, and let me just remove this because I just trying to use this for demonstration, right? So the include over here is basically mandatory. So it always happens. Anything that is denoted as include means that this is always happening. And you always go in the direction of this arrow, right? So this arrow tells you in what direction you go. So if cancel reservation happens, remove from waiting list always happens, right? At the same time, if we're making reservation, saying add to the waiting list is optional, and that's why we say extend. So UML is using extend and include for these, optional and mandatory relationship between the use cases. Any other questions about this? I'm just removing this temporarily because I'm still working through my use cases. All right, so moving on, scheduling of flights. That's where we stopped to talk about flight scheduling. So let's just read this description here. Support scheduling of flights in a fixed daily schedule for n days in advance, where we can set up a value in range. So obviously, all this information is important details for actual proper use case, business rules, and eventual implementation of it. But right now, clearly, scheduling of flights, scheduling of flights is a use case for airline staff, right? So schedule flight will be a use case that will be available to the airline staff, who can put together the schedule, specify the right aircraft and stuff like that. Right. So the only thing I would like to essentially mention here is that, of course, this is an important use case and it involves a lot of things, but right now it just looks like a little bubble, because we just need to be aware that this is really happening as we put together the system. All right, so I think we can now take a break and move to a different room and finish this little exercise.